Kody and I are not in communication. Our relationship is over, but we both still live in Flagstaff. And then the 5-acre lot, because Christine quit-claimed it, is Kody and Robyn. Insane to me that Kody is not taking this more seriously.
Janelle asks me about the property all the time, but I don't trust her. We will pay off the property when the time comes. Tired of disclosing information that goes through the gossip mill of our broken family.
Sister wives star Janelle Brown and Meri Brown need to hire a lawyer quickly. He plans to sell Robyn's house and claim that the property now belongs to both him and Robyn, leaving them out. Among the 4 wives, Janelle and Meri have been the main financial contributors for many years, supporting everyone significantly. Yet, they are the ones who stand to lose any marital assets. It's time to lawyer up. At this point, can he face bigamy charges? He's taken money from all 3 women to improve his own life, and now he won't reveal where that money is going. I believe Kody and Robyn are trying to pull something shady with the land by keeping Janelle and Meri in the dark. They might be looking to keep the land for themselves or sell it without sharing the profits. Kody, you're a joke. Both wives deserve compensation for that land, so just buy them out. Oh, but wait, Robyn doesn't work, so where will you get the money? It looks like you'll have to sell the house you and Robyn have to pay off the property and buy out the other wives. How's that for a reality check? I understand why Christine is taking him to court. He treats the family finances as if they belong solely to him and Robyn. I can only imagine how much Kody and Robyn have taken from the family. He's behaving like a child, without any proof of what's happening. Regardless of their conversations, she's trying to resolve things and move on. It's time for Kody to grow up. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Reality Nexus X. It's me, Elena, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. However, as someone going through a divorce, I can relate. I understand Meri's perspective. I see why she stayed and held onto hope. I get Janelle's hesitation to act before the finances are settled, and I understand Christine's departure because Kody didn't find her attractive or love her. I can empathize with all aspects of this situation. Meri often faces a lot of criticism, but I believe it's tied to both religious and pride issues. It's about that feeling of, but we did love each other. You cling to the hope that things will return to how they once were, feeling robbed of the future, the love, and the joy. You might think you can improve things, especially when he blames the catfishing. You start to internalize the belief that maybe you weren't the best wife, that it's your fault. It's reminiscent of Stockholm Syndrome, particularly when dealing with someone who manipulates expertly. In the latest episode, Meri mentions how people keep saying, "finally," which is validating. It indicates that Kody has been blaming and shaming her for so long that she genuinely thought she was the problem. I can relate to that deeply. She didn't stay because of her ego, but to appease his ego, hoping to win back his love. It's sad to see people criticize her because I understand her struggle. I've been there. I had a similar experience with my ex. You start to believe you're worthless and that the failure of your marriage is solely your fault. You think that by remaining loyal and not causing problems, you can earn him back. With someone who shows narcissistic tendencies, that's impossible. They offer tiny glimmers of hope to keep you hanging on, and eventually you break. It takes time and space to recover, something he allowed her to find. It doesn't surprise me that she reached this point, but I'm excited for her to finally live fully and discover what she truly wants now that she has the opportunity. I'm not saying she's perfect or that she didn't make mistakes, but I can relate to her in a way I couldn't before. Also, we have to remember that Meri's mother was alive and telling her that divorce was a sin, insisting that if she left, she would break her covenant and lose the chance for a higher place in heaven. Meri didn't have the power to leave until her mother was no longer around. Meri has mentioned several times that Bonnie adored Kody, which likely influenced her decision to stay or leave. I've touched on some important truths about Meri, and I think her religious beliefs play a significant role in her life. Her faith seems to be a major driving force. Over the years, we've learned that Meri is incredibly honest, as revealed in therapy. Both Kody and Janelle have acknowledged her loyalty in confessionals, and she was genuinely loved by Kody for many years. I believe she held on because of her faith and her cherished memories of that love. As well as, sister wives star Janelle Brown and Meri Brown are no longer listed as owners of any of the lots. I hope Meri and Janelle were fairly compensated and are satisfied with how things turned out. Personally, I think they're better off without the property and no longer having to share it with Kody and Robyn. Buying Kody Pass was a questionable decision from the start, and the way it was divided made little sense. I really hope they received some financial benefit from the deal. I've never understood why they bought the property in the first place when it was clear they couldn't afford everything needed to develop it. I would never have left Vegas. None of them wanted to go. Even Robyn mentioned on TV, so who knows how true it is, that she didn't want to move anymore. From what many people on Reddit believe, that area was chosen because Robyn's oldest son was going to college there, and she convinced Kody to persuade the others to move there. If they had a healthy polygamous lifestyle, which I don't think is actually possible, the Vegas setup was ideal. None of the women had to share a space, yet they were all close together. Plus, I wonder what the Darters think about how everything has turned out. I think one of them mentioned being disappointed in Kody at some point. Can you imagine how frustrated they must feel? After publicly and politically fighting to make their lifestyle accepted and normalized. All that hard work is overshadowed by this guy. Just to clarify, I'm not pro-polygamy. Everyone has their own choices. But if I invested that much time and energy into advocating for legitimacy, I'd be ready to wring his neck. They probably recognized Kody's flighty and disorganized nature from the beginning. But you're right. He hasn't exactly painted polygamy in a positive light. Additionally, do you think Christine filing for child support will spell the end of Kody and Robyn's relationship? Robyn's entire focus is on her own kids and ensuring their safety, often to the extent of sheltering them into adulthood. Above all, she wants to make sure her children are financially secure. Who wouldn't? But she takes it to another level. I don't think this will leave Kody completely broke, but it will definitely raise questions about every asset he has, and any back pay owed will sting. What's your take? Having all their financials reported and on record must be their worst nightmare, and there's no way Robyn wants a single penny going to truly over her own kids, despite her claims that Kody is such a great father. I find this situation delightful. I hope they're losing sleep over it. Burn it all down. This might be part of the reason behind the child support filing, a way to force their financials into the open, not just for child support, but also in light of potential litigation from Janelle and Meri. Kody's worst nightmare would be the 3 original wives working together. Their different skills complement each other well. Robyn isn't going anywhere. Where would she go? She's the most disliked cast member, so no one would want to watch Robyn, the single life. She might make some money charging $25 for people to throw balls at a dunk tank at the state fair, but that's about it. The most interesting aspect here is that Kody will have to disclose his assets and income, which he seems to be avoiding. I think they're already on borrowed time. Kody has been dodging question after question this season on the show. Once he's off the show and those big checks stop coming in, I think Robyn will leave. Christine timing the child support filing just right means Kody is about to face serious financial trouble. I love this for him. It's shocking that Kody wanted and actively chose to have 13 kids with the original wives, only to leave them high and dry for Robyn and her 3 kids, along with the 2 they have together. It's just sick. However, it looks like Mykelti has moved to North Carolina too. I just saw her post a video about it. So who's living in North Carolina now? Maddie and Caleb with their kids, Janelle and Savannah, and Mykelti and Tony with their kids. I'm glad so many of them are together. The kids, excluding Robyn's, show that something good came from this family, even when Kody and Robyn tried their best to tear it apart. Mykelti and Tony are in the Charlotte area, while everyone else is in Greenville, Eastern NC, so they're only about 3 to 4 hours apart. That's great. Janelle can definitely find a beautiful waterfront mountain view in NC without the outrageous prices and garbage service. I'm curious to see if any other family members will move that way. It's really sweet that they're near Maddie. Are they close enough for their kids to grow up together? Moreover, during the Brown family's adoption process for Robyn's kids, a key point of negotiation was Robyn's willingness to forego years of child support in exchange for Kody adopting her children. Kody argued that Robyn's ex didn't make an effort to be involved or provide support, so he felt justified in stepping in as the father figure, effectively erasing the ex from the picture. That said, am I the only one who believes Christine initiated this to pave the way for David to adopt Truly? Kody's own reasoning could be turned against him. He hasn't consistently supported or been present for his daughter, so by his logic, the man who has stepped up should take on the role of her parent. Do you think Christine would drop the child support case if Kody agreed to let David adopt Truly? I don't believe Christine supported Kody adopting Robyn's kids, nor do I think she wants David to adopt Truly. I think her goal is for Kody to play a significant role in Truly's life, believing he would do so after their separation. From what I gather, he's been less present than ever, and this might be her way of pushing him to act. I believe she's doing what any caring mother would do. Kody has a responsibility to Truly, and I'm glad to see Christine taking steps to ensure Truly receives the support she deserves. People seem to be overthinking this. She's divorced and has a child, so her ex is required to pay child support. She doesn't need a grand reason for this. She likely just realized that he should be contributing and that she doesn't have to be accommodating in this situation. Additionally, I think she noticed how much was spent on art and wants to ensure funding for Truly's college, which is completely fair. Christine understands that given Kody's history with adopting Robyn's kids, he has no choice but to contribute financially. She's being strategic by bringing this up now, as his income will likely drop when the show concludes. Even if they adjust the amount later, any back support owed will be calculated based on his current income. Did he really think she would just hand over money from her house while he neglected his obligations to their minor daughter? He's acting quite childish. Furthermore, has there been discussion about whether coronavirus was the primary factor in the family's breakdown? If the pandemic hadn't occurred, do we think the family would have disintegrated in the same way, or at all? In my rewatches, I noticed that things started to unravel after their move to Flagstaff. While I see it as a blessing, I can't help but wonder if Christine would have left if not for coronavirus. The pandemic halted many activities, and I wonder if, under normal circumstances, they would have built their homes more quickly, possibly keeping Christine more invested. If that hadn't happened, when might Christine have finally decided to leave? What if Kody had been able to attend Isabel's surgery? What if he hadn't been forced to stop visiting Janelle? So many factors could have changed the outcome, making me curious about how things would have unfolded without coronavirus. I guess we can all reflect on our lives that way. For me, the real turning point was when they left their homes in Vegas. There was no good reason to move after they worked so hard to build houses next to each other in that cul-de-sac. It was the ideal setup for them to live together, only to end up splitting up and relocating. I think the show and the move to Vegas were significant factors. If they had remained in their close-knit community, I doubt anyone would have left. They wouldn't have trusted the outside world enough to do so. Their kids would likely have been homeschooled. Some, like Maddie, might have found a way to escape the AUB, but most were deeply entrenched. I believe the original three could have convinced themselves they were still happy, as their religion suggests any unhappiness is a personal failing for not trying hard enough. Once they ventured into the outside world, it became a ticking time bomb. The kids have largely left, realizing that life beyond the cult is better, and Christine has mentioned that seeing how Mitch, Caleb, and Tony treat their partners as equals influenced her decision to say, "Actually, I'm done with this." Janelle might have left eventually because she's always been independent and has often seemed ready to go, while Meri and Christine were raised in this lifestyle. I'm also grateful for the show, especially for Leon, Gwen, and Isabel. Leon and Gwen's experiences are evident, but the AUV's approach to medicine and surgery mirrors the FLD's. Kody seemed willing to let Isabel suffer, and if he had had more control over Christine, things could have been very different. Moreover, Sister Wives star Meri Brown's confessionals. I'm totally here for Meri right now. She's expressing her anger and being open about her feelings, which must be incredibly freeing for her. Plus, she looks really fit. Good for her. I think Meri got a bad reputation because of her emotional moments in Season 1 and B, the catfish incident. But if you remove those two defining events, she comes across as insightful, caring, and simply yearning for acceptance. A perfect example is how she genuinely didn't want Christine to cry or leave the family after Kody missiled everyone about moving back to Utah. It was Meri, not Janelle, who stepped out of her comfort zone to chase after Christine. Robyn would never do that, as she tends to focus solely on herself. There are many instances where Meri has made a real effort to show her care. It feels unfair that so much of the early footage emphasized her crying, making viewers weary of her. Also, does Sister Wives star Robyn Brown really not know she's the problem? I'm currently watching Season 17, having stopped after the cheating scandal and catfish incident. It's baffling how Robyn sits in front of everyone and wonders why there's so much tension since she joined. Really, does she have no awareness of her surroundings? People like Robyn and Kody will never acknowledge that they're part of the problem. Robyn is aware of the impact she's had on the family, but she believes she's superior to the other wives and views them as weak, which is why she thinks they're blaming her. This mindset positions Robyn as the real victim in her eyes. I genuinely think Robyn is delusional enough to not recognize her role in the issues. She's too caught up in manipulation to reflect on her true intentions. She'll always see herself as a victim, incapable of feeling remorse or shame due to deep-seated abandonment issues that get triggered whenever she perceives fault. Please share your thoughts in the comment section below. I'd love to hear whether you agree or disagree. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell for future updates. Your feedback is important, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you.